everyone, it's Pat from Pat's Over Music, and in the quickest, most efficient way, I'm going to show you how to learn all of the notes that are on the guitar. But not only that, I'll teach you why you need to know it, and I'll teach you how you can practice this every time you pick up the guitar. So every time you pick up the guitar, you tune strings, you make sure it's in tune. Before you do anything else, practice what I'm about to show you right now. It's so important for your music and guitar development. Enough yakking, grab your guitar, let's dive in. So if you play an electric or an acoustic guitar, the tuning is the same. It sounds like this. Now if you're thinking, Pat, I can't possibly remember all the names on every fret and on every string, there's only a few little shortcuts that you need to know. But trust me, the reason why we're learning this is there's so many different chords to know on the guitar, all over the neck. There's so many different scales you need to learn. But if you were trying to remember them all by numbers, in the end, your brain can only hold a certain amount of information. It's so much easier just to think of one string with one pattern and then those things just... Now that's so much easier to remember, right? One string, one pattern, as opposed to 6 strings and countless patterns. So let's dive right in and have a look at the first thing we need to know. So in Western music, there are these notes. These notes are on the piano, they're on the guitar. Here they go. Let's start, because we're going to start by learning the thickest string, which is an E. Don't worry, we'll talk about that in a second. We're going to start from E. So have a look. Here's the names of the notes. You've got E, then you've got F, then G, then A, then B, then C, then D, then it just starts again. Right? Now you might be thinking, okay, I can remember that. There's one more tricky thing to it. There's things called sharps. Now what those are, or sharps or flats, is they're notes between those letters. So let's change the order now, and let's go again. E, F, then F sharp, then G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and then D sharp, and then it all starts again. If your mind's exploding, let me show you what that means. So have a look at the bottom. We just said E, and right next to it is F, right? So if I play the thickest string, it's an E. The fret right next to it is F, just like down below. Right next to that F is F sharp. Well, that would be the second fret. Right next to that F sharp, there's a G. It's exactly the same as written below. G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and then E. Now that's why on a lot of guitars the 12th fret has 2 dots, because you actually start again. So did you notice that I just said E? Aha, well, the thickest string, if I was to play it open, that's E. So you've got E open and E all the way on the 12th fret. Then it just starts again, that same order as below. E, F, F sharp, G, so on and so on. So there you go. Really, how do we use that information? It's a lot of information. So here's all the notes below. E, F, F sharp, G, so on and so on. Now how would you actually use this? Well, start off, you now know all of the notes that are in Western music. Great job. Start off by learning the open strings, and there's a few different ways, but here's something funny that I always like to think about. So you learn the open strings, then I'll show you how you can remember what actual frets there are. Then you can use that when you're playing scales. If you know, oh, it's a C scale coming up, you don't have to think about what different fret you're playing, you just go to a C note, and you could find lots of C notes. They're all over the place. So, before we get too ahead of ourselves, slow down, Pat. Let's go back. So now we know all of the names in Western music. Let's now have a look at the open strings. So there's 6 strings. So let's learn this funny little saying going from the thickest string to the thinnest string. So grab your guitar and play it with me. The thickest string is E. I remember that as Eddie. The next string down is A. The 5th string. I remember that as 8. So we've got Eddie, 8. The next string down is D. Dynamite. Eddie, 8, dynamite. The next string down is G. Eddie, 8, dynamite, and then G. Good. The next string down is B. Bye. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye. And the last thinnest string is E again, so it's Eddie again. So we've got Eddie, 8, dynamite, good, bye, Eddie. Fantastic, and that's a great way of remembering the open strings. So what I would do every time you pick up your guitar, make sure it's in tune. Because if it's not in tune, your ear and your brain is starting to learn the wrong sound. So it always has to be in tune. Once you've done that, simply play those open strings exactly like I just said. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. And then say E, A, D, G, B, E. Write it down if you want, just like the tab, that might help you. Once you've done that, the final part of this video is how are you going to practice what actual frets are there. So here's what I would do. You've already know that there's all the notes in Western music. Okay, what I would start doing is every time I pick up the guitar, I would just try and play the whole notes. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D. I would try and play them on the thickest string. Once you've done that for a month, again, it doesn't take long. Once you've done it for a month, then try the string below. So let's do that. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. You can now play all of the notes on the thicker string. The reason why it's so important is eventually when you become an intermediate guitar player and you're playing bar chords or you're playing scales, you often start the scales with the note on the thickest string. So if you already know, okay, where's the C note? That's the 8th fret. Okay, well now I can play a C chord. I can play a C scale because I know where that C note is. I can play an A chord over here because I know that the 5th fret is an A note. So there you go. First thing you need to do every time you pick up your guitar, play the open strings, say Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye Eddie, then say E, A, D, G, B, E. Just so you know in your head what the open strings are. Once you've done that, play those frets again. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And as you're playing the notes, say the notes out loud because that'll help you remember them so much better. Write them down if you need to, but that's it. Can you do that? Do you know that already? Interesting. Let me know down below in the comment section. And hey, this was supposed to be a quick video. It's a lot longer than I expected, but it's a skill that every guitarist needs to know and so many of us forget to practice, hey? So good luck and we'll see you for another video very soon.